Hello and welcome back to our journey through the pop
Immortality.
world immortality with Lovebites as we are at track 5 and Mastermind 01. So far,
Shortest track so far, this one.
yes.
Or it's going to be shaving almost a minute off of every other track we've listened to. Don't know how I feel about that as I've been waxing lyrical of going, I never want these songs to end. I could listen to them for 4 hours.
No, I'm thinking with what they can fit into a 5 minute song, how quick they can bang something into a
True.
4 minutes song. We
True.
could get some super pace here.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
as I say, we've had a bit of a kind of uh, pacing slowdown, haven't we,
yeah,
in the last couple of tracks? And but in absolutely zero way of is it quelled our enjoyment of it. In fact, if anything, yeah, we talked before when we've done albums, and I'm sure we will when we do other albums. Is that album is a journey, and they might whatever genre the band is that you're listening to, there might be tropes that you expect, but it's often really hard to just listen to something at a singular pace for the length
yeah.
of an album, isn't it? So those albums that I tend to gravitate to and probably love more are the ones that bring you variation throughout. And so far, so good on that front.
Yes. So, shall we get our mastermind on?
Yeah, I forget I have to do things as well, don't I? Right, let's make that blue and let's make that play. Let's do this. in some ways, and get ready for the furore. In some ways, that feels like the simplest track I think I've ever heard them do. Bearing in mind the complexity of it, so I'm not saying it's simple, but the simplest track they've ever done. But in no way did I find that to its detriment. I loved that. Like the
This is
attack throughout was amazing. Like they're just it grabbed hold of me by the throat early in a good way, if there is such a thing, and it never let go.
this is
Yeah,
a
really, really
straightforward
loved that.
rock and roll song. This
Yeah, but
and
with that bite to it as well, wasn't
yeah,
it? Like it doesn't feel like, because you are right. It's a rock and roll song, but it's a rock and roll song that has a more of a darker edge to it than some. And I know
yeah,
obviously there's lots of rock and roll songs that do, but yeah, I felt like really really powerful, really kind of rapid gut punches, but that were bringing
yeah.
pleasure.
As for me, who is known for loving the thrash metal and the intricate dwiddly dwiddlies of things, I fucking love this, and this is my favorite thing I think they've done.
I,
This made it on a first listen. This takes Break the Walls, which how much I love that because of how much of a love into Slayer that was.
yeah,
I fucking love this. This is good.
it's weird about you saying this potentially being their favorite as well, because I said that like on the first track, and I've really enjoyed every track so far of this album, and hopefully that's coming across in this, that I think we're both at the halfway point. We're both getting very very sold on this
Yeah,
album, but I'm not sure, but I might agree with you. This might be my favorite track of theirs so far.
it's straightforward. It's punchy. It's got a little bit of guitar wankery in there, just enough to sort of go, look, we still can do it even on a straightforward rock song.
Fit the
But
song though, didn't it? You know, like as
it
much as
wasn't forced,
yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, just get this in my veins. I would take an album of these.
And that's the thing, you know, like where you visualize yourself listening to any track or any album again. I could easily see this so far being becoming my most, certainly my most played track, because I could see this fitting a lot of moods and a lot of times for me. I could see me listening to this on a walk into work. I could see me listening to it when it's late at night and I'm outside having a cigarette. I could see myself like sitting there, like reading, but just
Cardio.
having this going
This is my
through.
cardio. This is getting in the. I tell you right now, this is getting into my cardio playlist for my.
What's a cardio playlist?
It's a playlist I listen to when I do my cardio.
Never heard of it. It's
It,
cardio. What are you talking about, you lunatic?
but yeah, no,
You
this
notice how all of my activities were dormant, and the most active it got was walking somewhere. Yeah, I
but
can't
yeah,
imagine a situation where I wouldn't like listening to this. Whereas sometimes certain music, you go, if I'm in a certain mood or I want to be in a certain mood, I'd go to this track. Whereas this one um, feels like one that I would never not be happy to have on in my headphones.
yeah. As I said, I fucking love this. Yeah, it is. As I said, it is simple. It's a simple style song, but just
Yeah,
so well done. And it is one of those things that like you hear a lot of people go, if you can do it well, do it as simple as possible to do it well.
yeah,
This
yeah, and
is just
you
like
know,
it is a very it's a very standard song style construction, but it's done so well and it has so much of them in it still that it can't no one else could do it
yeah,
like this.
you're right. You're not going to mistake this for another band, are you?
No,
It still sounds like them. All of those, all of those elements are there. And again, I'm going to go back to the word that you said and I said multiple times. That kind of more simplistic, but I think pared back maybe it's a way because I think people hear the word simple and go, "Oh, it's not simple." And look, we know it's not, but we're going. It's simpler than most of the songs that we hear them do, where like it's 6 minutes of um, sort of epic interchanging and multiple things. But as I say, not in no way to its detriment. If anything, I think to its benefit. I think if you go back to the guitar wankery concept of going, I think if you did layer in a 1.5 minute, 2 minute section where you just went to solos, we love their solos. I don't think it would help this song. I think
No,
it's
it would
perfectly
lose the
paced, isn't
momentum.
it? Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
thing. It's this is a drinking riff song.
yeah. And again,
It,
I imagine in a gig, I imagine met with great excitement when this starts up.
and I am saying now, as soon as we're done, I'm finding a live version of this because I need to
Well,
see it.
you know, I never want to sort of assume, but we like to do live reactions for certain milestones of subscribers. So get us up to whatever the next counter of 250 is, to depend on where we are when this comes out. And I'm game for doing this as the next live because I would like to see this live. And I'm hoping we can find a gig where we're not under something like COVID restrictions because I'd love to sort of really see and feel the audience and how they react to this song.
Yes. So let us know down there what you lot out there think of this. Um,
And if you know of any really good live versions of it,
yes,
drop that in as well.
yes. All the YouTube things like subscribing bells. Um,
That's maracas when I do that, isn't it?
yes,
Bell.
yes. We'll get him a bell at some point.
I
To
keep
treat him for
meaning to. I've got
Christmas.
one. I've got one. I've got one in the house, but it's a bell, and I don't want to start ringing a bell because I think it would be really bloody annoying down the mic. Fantastic bell though, bought for me, and it says ring this if you want a cup of tea. Now I've rung it multiple times in the house, and a cup of tea's never appeared. So there's some lying element to it, but yes, I do own a bell.
Maybe it's because you need to ring it in and make your own cup of tea.
That's just well, then what's the bloody point?
Because then you've got a
It's
bell.
ancillary then. If I'm going to make my own tea, I'll just make my own tea. I won't go to the effort. Going back to what we were talking about earlier about cardio and me going walking's like my exercise. I ain't ringing a bell unless I have to.
So until next time, and MDO, goodbye.